And that would be Wheeling Water or Ohio County Public Service.
It's actually Wheeling Water Municipality Service down there. We just make a complete circle for them.
You good?
Yep.
JD?
Doug, it might be a perfect time, the two suggestions Tammy has, in conjunction with renegotiating the contract, if, you know, you're gonna ask them if they're interested in operating and buying it, because if we're paying bulk plus 50%, to get them back to bulk like standard rate like everybody else, that can very well offset any increase that we have in the water. So, like, go hand in hand and be a win-win.
We'll find out, see what they say.
Any other questions? How you vote?
Mr. Ely?
Yes.
I vote yes. Mr. Prescott?
Yes.
Do you have anything else on water and sewage?
No.
Road department. The co-op is requesting $1,000 contribution to the account for insurance, repairs, and etc.
This is the Emwell, Donegal, and South Franklin co-op that we're part of. I'll move that we contribute to the operating fund.
1 second.
Any questions? How you vote?
Mr. Ely?
Yes.
I vote yes. Mr. Prescott?
Yes. Ed Crashaw couldn't be here tonight, but I guess Bill Toohey has everything in mind. They're going to be doing, for the well pad out there on Jones's, they're going to be doing the same thing they've done down at Campsie, and the other ones they want to open cut Hicks Road again, and everything's in place. I don't think he dropped the stuff off yet.
No, he said this week though.
Yeah, so, and the Red International dump truck, it's down. They put the plow and everything on it and had it all ready to go, and they went to plow snow this Sunday with it, and it won't raise the plow, so going to be looking at purchasing a hydraulic pump for it. And probably we should consider about trying to replace it sometime in 2017 if we got the funds. Anything on roads? Office report.
Under meeting advertising, Christmas and New Year's days fall on Sundays this year. Holidays will be observed on Mondays, 12/26 and 1/2. Motion to advertise reorganization meetings to be held at 6 p.m. Board of Supervisors, for the Board of Supervisors, at, I guess, 1/3 of 17. The auditors on Wednesday, 1/4 of 17. Parks and Rec on 1/5 of 17. And generally, the code book sets the dates of the reorganization meeting, but in this particular instance, the holidays are falling in there, which means that we need to move. We could have the meeting, or we can move them. So, that's what the recommendation is. I'll move that we move the meetings in that accordance with that.
1 second.
Mr. Ely?
Yes.
I vote yes. Mr. Prescott?
Yes.
2017 general fund and water and sewer budgets have been put together. I think it's, should not be, B and C should be together, or you have separate motions. One adopted the budget, then set the tax millage. I guess we could. Okay, motion, the 2017 budget is, final budget has been prepared, and I move that it be adopted as presented.
1 second.
Mr. Ely?
Yes.
I vote yes. Mr. Prescott?
Yes.
Tax millage 2016. You can see what our assessed valuation is and the certified values as well. The tax rate, to keep our tax revenue basically almost revenue neutral, meaning the new tax millage will not generate us very few extra dollars. It was about $500. instead of being 12 mils is what it was last year, it will be 1.05 mils, but that does not mean you're gonna get a reduction in your taxes. It just means it's just valuation is different. 1.05 keeps us revenue neutral. And I move that we adopted the tax millage at 1.05.
Second.
Mr. Ely?
Yes.
How about yes? Mr. Prescott?
Yes.
Eric Graham, you're on target. Thanks.
Well, I guess tonight I spoke with a couple of supervisors a couple different times, more than a month ago, about naming a fire marshal for Donegal Township. And I can give you the backstory on a little bit of what has occurred and where the need is and what the idea is. A few months ago, we went out to Ohio County with the fire departments there to visit one of their newly constructed hotels, 3-story hotel. Those municipalities don't have any involvement whatsoever in the planning and approval of any structures, commercial or not, built within their jurisdiction. When we did the walkthrough, one of the things we do there is we measure some things to make sure that we have the right equipment we need to do certain things. When we discovered their standpipes in their new hotel, they had them on each end of the hotel, and we would need 250 feet of hose to get to the center of the 3rd floor of that building. That's hose you got to carry in. The high-rise packs that we currently have are 150 feet long. So you need several people to do it. So I spoke to the chief then, about what happened, why didn't they put a 3rd standpipe in the center of the building, and they don't have a seat at that table. So they were trying to retroactively to get the building owner to fix it. I don't know if they have, but there's no way really to make them fix it, but to ask them to do it. So when we came home from that, we had several discussions about that issue, and that's an issue that we can absolutely have here in Donegal Township now. There's nobody really concerned with the fire protection other than what the state law or the building code is as to what has to go in the building. And that is the primary reason that I suggested to the supervisors to have somebody who would have a seat at that table to be able to look at plans when they come across for new construction and say, okay, this is going to be fine, we can protect this, make sure something as simple as there's 360-degree access to a commercial structure. I mean, sometimes it's that simple. That the standpipes we put on a building, if there is a suppression system, are on the right side of the building so that we can actually access them with a fire truck. Okay, there's nobody now to do that. And I suggested to them, that they name somebody to be able to do that and have a seat at that table. With the fire marshal position, there are several things that come with that. One is what I've just talked about. A second part of that is if the township has any ordinances on fire inspections, okay, which many do, Donegal Township does not, that can require commercial facilities or commercial buildings to be inspected once a year for fire safety. At some point, that's probably a good idea if the township continues to grow, to have that ability to do that. One of the other things that comes with it is some input with the planning and emergency preparedness, and helping the supervisors make decisions on what they need and what emergency responses they need. The last thing that comes with fire marshal position is an investigation arm of it. And I know that there were several questions presented to supervisors about that. And so I wanted to touch on that. I think there's some people don't understand how it is now and what change it will actually be, if any. First, according to the Fire Marshal Act in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Act 291, it is the responsibility of a fire marshal with the state police to investigate any and all fires that occur within the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. So at work, that's what I do for a living. I investigate those fires. I train one member of each fire department within the county to be able to assist me in doing that. So that, you know, quite normally it's a fire chief, it's not always a fire chief. So that whenever they have a fire, they can look at it and say, well, obviously this started in the wood burner. Then they call me and let me know, hey, there was a fire, it started in the wood burner, it's purely accidental. Then I don't need to go investigate it, okay? If they cannot determine immediately that it's accidental, then they have to call and we have to go investigate it. As a fire marshal for the state, you know, I have that ability, and that is what I'm supposed to do. As the fire chief in West Alexander, that is my job also. You know, that whenever we go out to a fire, that I'm to look at it and say, hey, this is absolutely an accident, we don't need any further investigation. If we do need further investigation, I call one of the other fire marshals from the state to look at it. The other thing that the Fire Marshal Act tasks a fire marshal with doing, even the state police fire marshal, is investigating any complaints of fire hazards or life hazards in structures. That is, again, that is also something that if somebody calls and complains and says, hey, there's a problem at this place, and this apartment building's got this huge problem, the emergency exits are closed and they've got a boiler that's misfiring, I have a responsibility to go take a look at that and see whether there is a danger there or not. As a fire chief, I also have that responsibility to do that, as it is now. These things would also fall under the fire marshal, but it doesn't change anything, any abilities that are currently there, other than the seat at the planning table. Did I explain that properly? Does everybody understand that? Okay. I think it's...
Eric, did you get a chance to review the proposed ordinance?
I did.
Does it meet the requirements of what you were looking for?
Yeah, I have no issue with it. I think you've got that ordinance from other municipalities or several other municipalities.
It's a combination of a couple. Move that we adopt ordinance number 3 of 2016 and create the position Township Fire Marshal, providing appointment, powers and duties, regulating interference therewith, defining violations, prescribing penalties, and providing a repealer for inconsistent ordinances.
I'll second.
Mr. Healy,
Yes.
how about yes? Mr. Prescott?
Yes.
If it would be in order, we could make the appointment for that position at the reorganization meeting.
I was gonna ask that.
Yeah. Next is we do have a vacancy as a township auditor, for that position of township auditor for the, I guess, for whose position was yours, Tammy? And is that something we would do at reorganization meeting, or should it be done prior to? Because they meet the night after the reorganization meeting.
You could do it at reorganization, and that person just had to have notice. That
They wouldn't have much notice.
one day to attend the meeting.
Show up tomorrow, hey, if you're been appointed. No, I don't have a problem either way.
I'm gonna do it now.
Give them some time.
Yeah.
Well, I know we had 2 applications on file, and I think either one of them would be very good. One who probably has more experience at it, at the township level anyways, as far as township government, that would be Mr. Dwight Hunter. And I will move that he be appointed for the vacancy.
When did Tammy Imes's term expire?
She
I was
resigned.
appointed,
You were appointed,
yeah,
they
last
serve
year.
terms, right?
Right, the 2-year, there were 6-year terms. There should be one on the ballot every 2 years.
If she was appointed, when would that term have expired? Because you basically,
You don't appoint for the rest of the term, you appoint to the next municipal election.
the unexpired term the person would serve.
No, you don't go to the unexpired term, not for an appointment. It would be to the next municipal election, which it'd be for 1 year. It will be a 1-year position for next year is an odd year, which is this year. And,
You make the appointment,
yeah.
let me just look into that,
Yeah.
just to see what her new term would be.
Right.
For that appointment.
Well, she did, you were appointed last January, right?
Yes,
So-
I was appointed last January. I
But
didn't
you-
do an election.
Right,
Yes,
right.
I mean, it was just
But you were
appointed.
appointed to obviously fulfill somebody's unexpired term, because there was a vacancy, is that why she was appointed?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
but I
always
don't-
been appointed.
Do
Yeah.
you remember who you replaced?
That was a while ago.
Was that a full term?
Yeah, it was
It's
like,
gonna be, it's something,
like 3 years.
it's gonna be something these untangles probably.
Yeah,
We don't know what
Make
person's
the
term.
appointment, we'll just have to let him know how long he has to serve before he has to run.
Yeah. Tammy, you might have records on those appointments. She has records of those.
yeah, she sent me a letter each year.
Yeah, it's not,
So,
We can look at that.
yeah.
Get a calendar out and figure out what.
okay, you got a motion.
Make a motion to appoint Dwight.
Dwight Hunter.
I'll second.
Mr. Ely?
Yes.
I vote yes. Mr. Prescott?
Yes.
New business.
I had a question on that. Did you guys advertise that, or should you advertise
We,
that first?
we did back then,
Oh, you did?
yeah.
Months ago.
You made new business?
No, that's somebody wants to bring something forward.
At this
Yeah,
time.
Yeah, I will,
Go ahead.
under other motions, I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
At this time, residents may approach the table and bring forth matters which may require immediate board action. All three of us will be available
It's been on 5 minutes.
for 5 minutes.
Gary, since she's incapacitated, can she sign a Mylar with a stamp, signature stamp?
It's
Why
my
don't you
signature.
sign as assistant secretary?
Okay. I'm not much better.
Well, your hand works better than hers.
It does. We'll sign it.
Or next.
Yeah.
Next. I think you start physical therapy. Not too bad. I worked with a guy that had the same kind of surgery. His arm was out like that. He's running into everything.
It wasn't done when I came.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Yeah, he missed a few days with it.
We can get a host there. Y'all be wore out by the time we get there.
You don't have it.
Couldn't get up on the hill. We can host.
Oh, no.
Hopefully Eddie can get his tractor. Grab on the bridge. Drag it to the hospital. That's the time we do it.
My pants. All changed. Couldn't. My gown, my clothes,
Pick it up.
I couldn't pick up the chains. I took my foot, I swept it all over the pile.
No, it's fine.
Started to kind of ask her, hey, that's Kim, can you pick up my chains?
She's trying to stop that.
Well, that'd be another
That's what's on part here. Get another one Friday.
All right, we'll reconvene.
You gave me the answer I wanted.
Other motions from the boards?
Yes. I'd like to make a motion that we, as a township, award our annual Christmas bonuses as per what we've done in the past. Can't remember, $100 and $50. $100 full-time employees and $50 part-time employees that are active employees. Active employees, not just people on the roster. Motion is to give all active employees $100 full-time employee, $50 part-time. As per we have done for years and years.
I'll second that.
Any questions? How you vote?
Mr. Ely?
Yes.
I vote yes. Mr. Prescott?
Good.
Correspondence.
Okay, we've got a lot of correspondence. I'm going to try to go through it fairly quickly. Got a letter from PSATs and the kind of updates on some of the legal changes. One of the big one changes that the Supreme Court strikes down the some parts of the local share. That's in here. I think I saw something in here about the change in the overtime. The overtime regulations didn't pass. That's in there. Washington County Conservation District. This is on Old Brick Road, and I'm not sure what project you're talking about. Do you know, Tammy? The name doesn't ring any bells with me.
Risk Horizon bought a lot of Walk Castle's properties that I didn't want across from your state.
Okay. Some of Bob Costle's former properties, and there was a letter from the Soil Conservation. National School Choice Week, Senate Engineering has given us a proposal for their rates for next year. We choose to appoint them as the engineer at the reorganization meeting. Mr. Sweat would also need one a letter of interest from your firm. Sukco Corporation, I want to say moved. This was a meeting of the Joint Planning Commission with Claysville Borough. This is coming up on December 19th, 7 p.m. Pam, you're going to be attending as well, and Catherine, right? Anybody else? That's all from Donegal? Jay Dutton? Yes. Okay. And that meeting will be held where? Claysville Borough Building. And the time of that meeting, if anybody wants to go, is 7 p.m. Range Resources, this is dealing with the Robert Jones pad. They want to make a change of, from being classified as from conservation to non-conservation. What the world does that mean? Anybody know?
It's only on that 8H, well,
Yep, 8H well.
Does the letter explain it?
Well, not that I understand it. Tom, you know anything about this? What that means? A few folks out there that might be in that area might be interested. I don't know what it means. We got the billing from the Sweat Law Office. We got a recall notice from Ford. I want to look see if we still own this vehicle. We own a Ford?
yeah, all three of them.
All three Fords?
Yeah.
All right, John, you look this. You might want to look this at some point and see if we own it, that's all. Being here. Can't, they need to, well, you can look at it. PSAT's news bulletin again. There's your bid on the police car package. Letter from Nathan Boytek, I think I mentioned this one before, gives the breakdown of the LSA funds that are available. A invitation to a Christmas party. Okay. Consol Energy, dealing with the Colvin well, it must be in another township, East Valley. Okay, an email from SWAT Law Office in regards to the December. This is about the action that was filed before Judge. Who was the judge? President Judge Catherine Emery. Okay. Case of Robert Boyle and Ina Boyle are appealing. It's an order appealing first day of November. It's hereby ordered that Joseph M. Japancic Esquire is appointed the master for the above case. So it's an appeal on the property assessment. Washington County Conservation District. Risk Horizons again. This is another email from Catherine Prescott in this regard to the November meeting of the what was the Claysville Business Association? What's it called now?
Western Route 40 Business Association.
Western Route 40 Business Association. With a letter from PennDOT, their winter meeting that we were invited to that's over with, we didn't go. Minutes from the Western Route 40 Business Association. Thank you card from the fire company for the contribution for the 4th of July festival. We awarded a drier day for next year. Can I take advantage of it?
Not too dry though.
Not too dry.
Yeah.
This is from EQT on the Ely well. You know well? East Finley. Okay. And this is a copy from the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania. This is the James Ashton and Marlene Ashton appellant versus the Washington County Board of Assessment. Whole length packet there. And Tunnel Ridge Mine, I think we went over this at the previous meeting in regards to their undermining our property. Next is a an email from Chartiers Township to kind of give us some hints on how to calculate our millage. And we have a breakdown of the costs that have been spent with the ADS Co-op, which is the Amwell, Donegal, and South Franklin Co-op, and it breaks down what they've spent. Their balance as of 11/21/2016 is $2,411.88. This is the one we approved the extra $1,000 for. Lastly, we have a letter from Washington County Conservation District. This is dealing with erosion sediment control for the Columbia Gibraltar gathering, which is the, I'm not sure if this is the pressure station over on Dulles Farm Road. And that corresponds. Did you figure out what that meant?
We'll call her and get an explanation. I'll shoot you an email.
Okay, we'll go to public comment. I would ask that everybody that's going to comment conduct themselves in a professional manner. Kathy Croft, you're up.
This letter will follow up our September disclosure of Mr. Sweat's repeated overcharges.
Wait a minute.
Go up front so we can hear you.
First of all, I had my hand up. She's on the agenda. I'm not.
I didn't see your hand. Go ahead, Bob.
Okay. Was there any change in your dealing with the agenda as to when that is posted and so forth? And also about the meetings that have been going on Thursday evening every week, that can we have agendas posted for that beforehand? Has that been thought about?
Well, if it's a public meeting and you're going to take action, there should be an agenda.
We have an agenda every meeting.
So you're not going to post it in this time that we have now, computers and so forth? Or are you going to post it ahead of time?
That's something that if we get time, we could do. If you